What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video and for my next movie review, I'm going to be reviewing a movie I watched just yesterday. It's a movie that I kind of have been looking forward to see. I've heard great things about the movie. It came out last year, and that movie is Whiplash. If you follow the Academy Awards, you may have heard that this movie won a lot of different awards. I'll talk about that after, but first off, this film isn't as widely known. It's not a blockbuster film in any way whatsoever. It's an independent film. It was made on a budget of $3.3 million, and it made $33.1 million. So it did make a lot of money. And for an independent film, it did very successfully. It came out at the Sundance Film Festival on January 16th of last year, but it went into wide release October 10th of last year. So this film is about, first of all, there are two major characters in this movie. Miles Teller plays a guy named Andrew Neiman. Miles Teller, you may know him from the Divergent series and other movies as well. He's an up-and-coming star. And J.K. Simmons plays Terrence Fletcher. You may know him from the Farmers Insurance commercials. The one that goes, "We are farmers," and the Spider-Man movies, actually. But J.K. Simmons has been around for a long time. So Andrew Neiman is a first-year jazz student at the prestigious Schaefer Conservatory, which is located in New York. And he aspires to be a great drummer, like one of the greatest jazz drummers of all time, like jazz drummer great Buddy Rich. So Neiman gets discovered by famed conductor Terrence Fletcher. And Terrence Fletcher wants him to join his studio band that he's auditioning, that he's heading. And what happens after that is Terrence Fletcher is an asshole. That's the simplest way to describe him. He berates his students. He emotionally abuses his students. He berates them. He thinks they're nothing. He insults their families, insults them. He's just not a nice man, really. He's not a nice music teacher, conductor. He is abusive towards Andrew because Andrew just isn't the best drummer he's seen, apparently. And he's not doing the perfect job that Terrence Fletcher wants him to do. So Fletcher throws a lot of things at Neiman, hurls a chair at him, throws a lot of things at him, and actually physically assaults him by slapping him a few times. And emotional distress, too. And you can see that this affects Andrew Neiman so much, but it also motivates him to become a better drummer. It motivates him to get that support and encouragement from Terrence Fletcher. He strives for it so much, he devotes his entire life to drumming, pretty much, for a period of time. So that's basically the plot of the movie. So this movie was really good. Like I said, I had heard a lot of good things about it. I mean, there were 5 Academy Awards, Academy Award nominations, and 3 wins for this movie. The wins were Best Film Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Supporting Actor for J.K. Simmons. Those were the wins. J.K. Simmons, first of all, Miles Teller played a very good character. He was a very good character in this film. Andrew Neiman, you saw the emotion, you saw the striving for success aspect in his character. He wants to be one of the best, but he also is hurt by Terrence Fletcher's mean comments toward him and just overall assholishness. Uh, and then J.K. Simmons. I mean, with all respect to Miles Teller, who gave a great performance, J.K. Simmons delivers in this movie. He's the star of the film. He won that Academy Award for something. It was his performance as Terrence Fletcher was unbelievable. He plays this guy who, on the outside, is a very asshole-ish type instructor. You know, one of those teachers that, and I'm sure a lot of people have had these kinds of teachers. These teachers that just, they don't give you the credit you deserve, really. They don't say, hey, good job, buddy, or, hey, nice try, buddy. Try it again, try it better next time. He's not that type of teacher, and those type of teachers are around, and those type of teachers often get reported, and they get fired. But yeah, with his character, he plays an asshole-ish teacher, but yet inside of him, this teacher has a lot of insecurities. There's been a lot of loss in his life and things like that. And so it's good to see both personas of this character, and I think J.K. Simmons plays those characters, both personifications, very well. And there is a reason, again, why he won Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. I mean, he was the star of the movie. Now, there were a couple other people, too, in this movie. This actor named Paul Reiser played Jim Neiman, who was Andrew's father. And Melissa Benoist plays a girl named Nicole, who eventually becomes Andrew's girlfriend. She's this movie theater concessionist. But these characters, I mean, they did their jobs. They were fill-in characters, definitely. But the characters in this movie you need to really pay attention to are Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. I mean, these characters really do it. I love this movie. I was blown away by this movie. I was very much hooked on this movie. It was a very good look at perfection and what it does to people. People who strive for perfection and what it does to them and what it does to their life and how it affects them emotionally and things like that. This movie's a good look at that. And I mean, most of us have probably had a teacher like Terrence Fletcher. There are teachers out there that are like that. But, I mean, J.K. Simmons, interesting fact about him. He played, he was expected to really play this aggressive, horrible, asshole teacher. But after takes, in between takes, he was one of the nicest men on set. And the director, I believe, said that was kind of why the set didn't explode on him. The set didn't become controversial or anything like that. Because when you're on a film set shooting a movie, you want to have a fun atmosphere where actors can really perfect their craft. You don't want a set filled with controversy and prima donna divas who look out for themselves, just for themselves, and things like that, or people who just are there for the paycheck, or, pay me, and I'm not really going to do much, just pay me for the movie. There are actors out there that are like that, but in this movie, it's clear that everybody tried in this film. It was, on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie got a 95% rating. There's a reason why this movie's critically acclaimed. For me, I'm giving the movie 5 out of 5 stars. It really... the last few movies there I didn't give 5 out of 5 stars to, so it's a little unusual for me. I do give a lot of 5 out of 5 stars, but the last 4 definitely haven't been 5 out of 5 stars. some of them are disappointing. But this one is back to the 5 out of 5 stars. This movie was so good. It was so emotionally wrenching. It was such a good movie, period. And Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons play their characters greatly. J.K. Simmons is the star for sure, and he deserved his Academy Award. So that is it for this video on Whiplash. And I implore you guys to watch it. It is a really good movie. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I advise you check it out. It is such a good film. So that is it for this video. D-Rock 1992 out.